Hi families, you're welcome back to my beautiful channel. This is your girl Doc Sex once again. So today we are going to talk about how to make a fabric softener. That is how to write down percentages of the ingredients that you need to make a fabric softener. Now I do this just to help me out so that my product's consistency or the color of my product or the thickness of my fabric softness or any other product that I'm doing will come out the same always. Something like my thick bleach, I always put down percentages of all the ingredients that I need. And then if I'm making a liquid soap, I put down the percent, I put everything down in percentages before I weigh them into weights. That's the only thing or the only way to go so that your product will always come out the same always. Your consistency will not be light today and then tomorrow is going to be thick or thicker than the other that you did. And mind you, if you are selling this, you need to be sure of what you're doing. Okay, your customers don't have to buy your product today and it's going to be light or watery and then tomorrow it's going to be too thick to even pour it. And all that you need to do is to just add in you just have to be adding water to it just to make it light as you want. But if you put everything down in percentages and then you transfer them into weight, it will really help you out to make larger batches even in future. If you think you're making a 5,000 grams today, tomorrow you want to make 10,000 grams, next day you want to make 20,000 grams, you can put down the percentages and then you can transfer it into weight. And that is what you're going to talk about today. Okay, so that you will always have your product or your fabric softness to come out same consistency, the color will always be same, the thickness will always be same. So what I will do, or what I always do, is to put down the percentages of all the ingredients that I'm going to be using. I'll put the percentages at the back of it. So for my flex, I will need just 2%. Okay, and then for my softener, I will need 2%. And for my water, I will need 93%. And for my preservative, I will need 0.5%. And for my perfume or fragrance, I will need 2%. And for my color, I will need 0.5%. And you can see, even with the color that I'm going to add to the product, I still put it in percentage because I don't want the small batch that I'm going to do today looks different from the larger batch that I'm going to be doing tomorrow. The color is going to change from the one that I'm doing today, and then tomorrow the color will change again. So that's the reason why I put everything down in percentages. You will understand this better, okay, when the video ends, because I did a 10,000 grams later on and I will show you that one too. But this isn't a practical video of how I did this. I'm just showing you how you can also come out with the weight or the percentages of the things or the ingredients that you need when you are making your fabric softener for selling purpose actually. And for the flicks that you are seeing there, sorry for the background noise, it is raining heavily here, so you need to forgive me on that. So for the 2% of flicks and the softener that you're seeing here, don't see it to be very little, because with that you can see the thickness on the screen. This is just the 200 grams that I did. Okay, and you can see when you compare this to later part of the video where I did 10,000 grams, you can see the consistency is the same. The thickness is the same. Okay, the color is also the same because I weighed, or I did everything in percentages and then I transfer it into grams. Okay, so do not look at the 2% of the flicks that you're going to be using and stuff to think that it's too small, so you're going to top it up. If you want to top it up to like 3%, is your own choice. Okay, but I have been using 2% of the softener and then the flakes, and it has been helping me. The consistency is perfect and it's okay for me. What you need to put at the back of your mind is that all the percentages has to sum up to 100%. Okay, you don't need to get 101% or 102%. Okay, it is never done anywhere. Everything has to sum up to 100%. So you can see on the screen that 2% plus 2%, you know, the flakes, the softener, 2% is 4%. You add 93% to it, 0.5% plus 2% plus 0.5, and then it will give you 100%. That is what I'm talking about. Okay, so after putting this in percentages, I would then transfer it into weight. because what you're seeing on the screen is just 200 grams. So this is what I did. You can do the manual calculation by working it on a sheet of paper, but that's very difficult. It's not so difficult, but if there is an easy way, why do struggle to just put down pen 0.02% times 200 grams, you know, equals to this and that? Is quite, you know, I can work it out that way, but to make it easier for you, okay, to understand this better, let's use the internet, or let's use Google to help us out. Okay, so now I want to do a 200 grams batch, just 200, as little as 200 grams. So what I'm going to do is I need 2% of my flakes. So 2% of 200 grams, I'll put that in Google search. Okay, 2% of 200 grams, and then Google will tell me that 2% of 200 grams is 4 grams. Okay, and then I'll put that down. So I need that, I know that I need to measure just 4 grams of my flakes, and then I'll also search 2% of 200 grams again for my softener, and it's the same 4 grams. Okay, then I will come to my water weight, which is 93%. So 93% of 200 grams will also tell me, Google will also tell me that I need 186 grams, okay, of water. And then I will also put that down, and then come to my preservative, which is 0.5%. So I'll put 0.5% of 200 grams in Google search, and then it will tell me that I need 1 gram. Okay, and then I will also search 2% of my perfume weight, and which is the same that we did for the flakes and stuff. So 4 grams. You don't need to struggle yourself over that. 4 grams, and then you put it there. Now you will also search for your color as well. 0.5% of 200 grams, which will also tell you, Google will also tell you is 1 gram. Okay, so now add everything to see if you're going to get 200 grams, and then you will see that you will get 200 grams, exactly 200 grams at the end. If you don't get exactly 200 grams, it means there is a fault somewhere, and you need to cross check that. Okay, so let's add 4 grams of my flakes to 4 grams of my fabric softener. That's going to give me 8. Okay, and then we add it to the 186 of water, and then we add the 1 grams of the preservative, and then we add the 4 grams with the we add the 4 grams of the perfume, and then we add the 1 gram of the color. And when you add everything, the total weight is going to give you 200 grams. So that means you're correct. You're good to go to measure your products then. So with this method, you don't have to struggle when you want to make large batches. You can transfer, you can even do 100,000 grams. Okay, 100,000 grams if you do this in percentages wise. That's the only way to help you to multiply your batches. Okay, so this 200 grams, as you are seeing on the screen, this is how I went about my calculation, and then I did it the way that a fabric softener is supposed to be done. Okay, you melt your fabric, you melt your flakes, you add your softener, you add your hot water, you add this, that. And I did not add alcohol because without it, my product still comes out nice, and it smells amazing in clothes. It makes the clothes so very soft and stuff. So I don't see the need to add alcohol to make extra cost for my product when it's not going to really benefit the product in any way whatsoever. All right, so now that you understand this better, I also did a 10,000 grams, which I use same percentages of my ingredients. Okay, I use same percentages of my ingredients, and let's work that out too. Okay, so for example, if you want to make 5,000 grams, it all depends on you. You just put down the percentages of the ingredients that you need. Okay, the percentages, you just put the percentages in front of the ingredients that you need, and then later on you search Google for the weight. Okay, so now we are going to look at the 10,000 grams that I did and how I came up about all the weight. Okay guys, so this is the 10,000 grams that I did. That is 10 kg. Okay, this is the 10,000 grams that I did, and it's the same percentages of ingredients that I use, and then I transferred it into weight. Okay, so as you can see here, it's saying 2% of flakes, 2% of softener, 93% of water, 0.5% of my preservative, which I use sodium benzoate, and then 2% of my perfume, and 0.5% of my color. Okay, so what I did, as I said initially, is that I just went on the internet, Google, and then I searched 2% of 10,000 grams. Okay, and then Google told me that I'm gonna need 200 grams, so I put that down. That means I'm gonna measure 200 grams of my flakes. It's raining heavily here, so you need to forgive me for the background noise. Okay, so I put that down, and then I will also check 2% of 10,000 grams. That is for my softener. If you're using same percentages, now what I said is you need to understand that all the percentages has to sum up to 100%. So I don't know how you want your softener to be. I don't know how thick you want your product. You can change this percentages for your flakes, and then for your softener you can go 3%, you can go 4%, you can go 5%, you can go 2.5%. It all depends on you. Okay, but I see 2% to be okay for me. All right, so I will also measure or put that down, 2% of my 2% of 10,000 grams, and then I'll put that down. It says I need 200 grams, so I'll put that down. And then I will also check 93%. That is for my water weight. Okay, 93% of 10,000. Right, so where was I was at the water percentage. So you will go on the internet to search 93% of 10,000 grams. That is if you are making same quantity 10,000 grams as I'm doing, but I'm doing this just to give you the idea of how you can also come out with your recipe, because you can just use these percentages, and then if you want to make just 300 grams, you can do it on your own. If you want to make, provided that you know how to go about the way of doing a fabric softener. I will do the video. I will do a video on that, the practical video on doing a fabric softener with these quantities later, but I don't want that video to be very long, so that video may be linked to this, or this may be linked to that in the description box or so. So if you are making a 5,000 grams, it's the same thing that you need to do. You just pick 2% of 5,000 grams, and then Google will tell you that you need like I think 100 grams or so, and then you check 93% of your water weight, which you need 93% of 5,000 grams, and Google will tell you you need this, that. Okay, so I will also cross check. I will also check for 0.5% of 10,000 grams, and Google will tell me that for my preservative, 0.5% of 10,000 grams is 50 grams. Okay, and then I will search for my 2% of perfume. That is 2% of 200 grams. Hey, sorry, 10,000 grams. And Google will tell me that I need 200 grams. Okay. And then I will search 0.5%. That is for my color. Okay. Google will tell me that I need 50 grams. Okay. So that is all that I do whenever that I'm making a fabric softener. And because I am selling this, I don't want my product consistency to be different from each batch. That is the reason why I go it this way. Okay, and just to also help somebody out there who are also into this business to also know how to, because if you follow this kind of weight measurement that people do on YouTube, you know, it's kind of confusing, but when you sit down to calculate everything in percentages, you're good to go. You don't really need to struggle when you're making. Sometimes you may read comment sections of some videos, and then some people may be asking, if I have 1 liter of flakes, how much of this water do I have to add to this? How much of the no. If you have these percentages, you are good to go. You are good to go to do your fabric softener. And then if you are selling this, then it's best to put down percentages of your things so that it will help you out very well. And one thing that you need to know is I'm using a preservative such as sodium benzoate for this production. So I know that 0.5%, the 50 grams of sodium benzoate can preserve 10,000 grams of all this product. 50 grams of sodium benzoate powder can preserve this 10,000 grams. So if you don't measure this, your product may even go bad before the expiry date. Okay, so that's all that I want to share with you guys here today. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video to this far. Thanks so much. God bless you. I love you. Please subscribe to my channel if you are new, and then like this video, share it for me for more updates. And the next video is going to be the practical side of making a fabric softener for selling purpose actually. God bless you all. I love you. Bye bye.